one. I got another geographic Mandela effect. This one I can just put hands down on. As you know, I grew up in western Silverton, Colorado, in Montrose. And, I used to ski. I skied everything growing up. I skied Telluride, I skied Crested Butte, skied Powderhorn, a bunch of ski resorts. Some of you may not be familiar with the ski resorts in western Silverton, Colorado. But anyway, so I mean, from the time I was like, 12 years of age, or 13, that I'd skied all the ski resorts, okay? Now, what blows my mind is there is a Silverton ski area now, okay? And I was shocked because I didn't even realize it because when I first was looking, I was looking at the closure dates of the ski resorts in Colorado. Just going to see who's closed and who's not, right? I saw Telluride was closed and some other ones, right? And then I saw Silverton on there. So Silverton was still going to be open till, April 18th, right? So I thought, God, Silverton. I said, I don't remember there ever being a Silverton. So I would have skied that thing or known about it. Well, so anyway. So I just kind of put it on the back of my mind, and during lunch, I was talking to my mother. I said, yeah, I was looking at the closure of the ski resorts, and I said, Silverton is one of the few that's going to stay open. That, and I think it was like you said, Vail, maybe, and another one, I can't remember. But anyway, Silverton, so there's like only 2 or 3 that's going to stay open till the 18th of April. Most of them are closed or closing on the 11th, okay? Well, she goes, what do you mean, Kirk, Silverton? She says, there's no ski area in Silverton. I said, what are you talking about? I said, oh my goodness. I said, Mom, that's supposed to be a Mandela effect because I said, there is a ski resort in Silverton now. She goes, you're kidding me. She goes, there was never, because we used to go to Silverton all the time. They had what's called even the Silverton Durango Railroad. That would go between Silverton and Durango, okay? So I had to stop because some guy was working construction to make sure I'm not getting in trouble. So anyway, we went there in the summer, everything, I hang around Silverton, occasionally, and Durango is kind of a nice area, but, Durango was a larger area, very larger town. Even back in the day, it's way smaller than this now. And this new earth, everything's overpopulated, like I said. Way more population, Mandela effect. I'm not going to go there with that. Western Colorado, it's not just because people moved around. We had some movement, but I'm telling you. Well, anyway, staying focused here. Silverton was just, my gosh, it had like, I'm trying to think, it had like two blocks of actual buildings and a couple stores and just nothing there, right? Well, anyway, my point is this. So I did there's a small town. There's no way you put a ski resort there. There's nowhere to stay. It's a drive, especially in winter. There's nowhere to go. So I haven't been back to Silverton. I came through a couple years ago. Went through Durango, and Durango had changed, way bigger, a lot more people. But I'm curious now about Silverton. Well, anyway, the other thing is, I did a Wikipedia on it. Did some research. It's called the Backfilling History. They claim they opened up the Silverton ski resort in 2002. Okay, now wait a minute, because I went back and forth to Western Silverton occasionally. Not a lot, not because I was always so busy in the computer field and working and trying to raise a family. But I'm telling you, I would have known about this. You kidding me? And there was no Silverton ski resort. No way. And there's just no way. 2002. My mother, was she still living there? Yeah, she was still living there in 2002 in Montrose. And she just lived right down the highway from it, She would have said something to her friends. Are you kidding me? Now, that's also another Mandela effect we've had, is that Glenwood Springs, totally different town. I talked about in the previous YouTube. It's completely changed, different structures. Buildings that never existed now have 1800 type building structures. There never was that in Glenwood Springs. What else? Oh, that's the other thing too, is I had some relatives that grew up. Now I never went to Hobbs, New Mexico much, but I went to Hobbs, New Mexico this last about a year ago. I was traveling through, and because I wanted to check out my grandparents' old house and things like that. And then I found out there was a casino in Hobbs. Oh, you got to be kidding me. I mean, there was never a casino. They got this casino horse racing track in Hobbs. And I was like, there was never a horse tracking casino in Hobbs. Hobbs is just like I think it had about maybe, probably 20, 30,000 people. At one time it was 50,000, but reduced in size. And there was never a casino horse tracking. So I thought, well, how long has this thing been there? I talked to somebody, said, God, it opened up like in the 70s. Are you kidding me? I mean, it was never in the 70s, never in the 80s, never in the 90s. And I have relatives that still live there, and I want to ask them, but I'm sure they'll tell me the typical Mandela effect, got the download. Yeah, the casino, oh, it's been here since the 70s. I mean, I haven't asked them, but I just was like, okay. And I even told my mother, I said, did you know, because my dad grew up in Hobbs, and he grew up, and so he always talked to my grandma. My point is this, that he had there's a lot of family there, right? And my dad would have mentioned even been building in the 70s, because like I said, we used to drive all over Hobbs. My dad actually flew us to Hobbs one time, because he used to fly small aircraft. We went down there for Thanksgiving. He flew a Cessna with me and my brothers and our family down to Hobbs from Colorado. And yeah, right. Anyway, so it doesn't matter. We still got to start asking ourselves why, though. We know what the why of this Mandela effect. We're on a reset in the beginning and things like that. But if you're going to study the Mandela effect, it's time that we start saying, is there more communication in those messages? These are just local ones, just geographic. But anyway, God bless y'all. Take care.